All right, let's talk about Airbnb profits. Today, we're going to break down exactly how you can turn a property into a real, profitable short-term rental business. We'll get into the exact strategies you need to get started and, more importantly, to actually succeed. So yeah, let's dive right in.
Okay, so this is the big question, right? The one on everybody's mind. Can you still make big money with Airbnb in 2025? I mean, you look around and there are listings everywhere. Is the market just completely saturated? Is it too late for someone new to jump in and actually make some serious cash?
Well, let's find out. We're going to cut through all the noise and figure out what it really takes.
First up, the Airbnb gold rush. And here's the thing, a lot of people think it's over, but the opportunity might actually be bigger than it's ever been. Let's talk about why.
Just look at these numbers. We're talking anywhere from $1,500 to $5,000 a month in profit. I mean, that's not just a little side hustle money. For a lot of people, that is a genuinely life-changing stream of income.
So how is this even possible? Well, it's pretty simple. Platforms like Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com, they've just completely kicked the gatekeepers to the curb. You don't need to be some big hotel tycoon. You don't need a giant mansion to get started. And this is the really big one, you don't even have to own the property to get in the game. On top of all that, despite all the chatter, the demand from travelers, it is not slowing down.
Okay, so let's say you're thinking, I'm in. This sounds good, but how do you actually start? Well, there's not just one way to do it. Let's break down the 4 main ways you can jump into the game.
So here they are, the 4 main paths. First, the easiest entry point, just renting out a spare room. Super low cost to get started. Then there's something called rental arbitrage. This one is huge. It's where you rent a property long-term and then, with the owner's permission, you re-rent it on Airbnb. It's an amazing way to get started without owning anything. Third, you can manage properties for other owners. This one costs you $0 to start. Or, of course, there's the traditional route, buying a property, which gives you total control and you build equity.
Okay, so you've picked your path. Now it's time for the host's playbook. This is the stuff that separates the people who make a little money from the people who build a real business.
You've heard it a million times, location, location, location. But it's not just about a nice neighborhood. You need to be thinking about consistent year-round demand. So yeah, tourist hotspots are great, but also think about business districts, areas near big hospitals or universities, convention centers. These places have people coming in all year for work, for family visits, for conferences. That's how you stay booked even when it's not peak tourist season.
Whatever you do, do not guess your pricing. That is a recipe for failure. You've got to do your homework. There are some incredible tools out there like AirDNA and MashVisor. They literally show you what similar places in your area are earning, what their occupancy rates are, all that good stuff. And honestly, don't forget the simple stuff. Just go on Airbnb and manually search. See who your competition is. What are they charging? What do they offer? It's free research.
Okay, amenities. In a market with a lot of options, this is how you win. And I'm telling you, stuff like fast Wi-Fi and a dedicated desk, that's not just a nice to have anymore. For remote workers and business travelers, it's a must-have. And the little things, keyless entry so they don't have to fiddle with keys, a really comfy bed, a good coffee setup, that's the difference between a 4-star and a 5-star review. And those 5-star reviews are everything for getting future bookings.
Listen up, because this might be the single most important piece of advice I can give you. Your photos sell your Airbnb. That's it. A guest is scrolling, and they're going to decide in like 3 seconds whether to click on your listing or just keep going. Having professional photos can boost your bookings by 30 to 50%. 50%! This is not the place to try and save a few bucks. Do not cut corners here.
All right, the prep work is done. The place looks great, you've got amazing photos. Now it's time to launch and get booked. This is where we turn the listing into a real money-making business.
Think of your online listing as your digital storefront. Every single piece of it matters. You need a catchy title that grabs attention. You need to sell the experience in your description, not just list the features. Be super detailed with your amenities list. Use a smart pricing strategy so you're not leaving money on the table. And of course, those professional photos we talked about. The whole goal of this page is to make someone stop scrolling and say, yep, that's the one.
Okay, just look at this. On the left, nice 2BR apartment, close to town. I mean, snooze. But on the right, your cozy downtown escape. It paints a picture. It talks directly to couples or business travelers. It tells you what you can do there, walk to nightlife and cafes. It sells an experience, not just a room. I mean, be honest. Which one are you clicking book on?
Look, the listed and they will come strategy does not work. You can't just hit publish and pray. You got to be proactive. Post your listing on Facebook Marketplace, find travel groups, start a dedicated Instagram page for your property. It works. Reach out to local businesses, think wedding planners, restaurants, and don't be afraid to offer some early bird or weekday discounts to get those first few crucial bookings. You have to build your own momentum.
Getting that first booking confirmation, oh man, it's an amazing feeling. But that's just the start. The real goal here is to win the long game. We're talking about building a sustainable, profitable business, something you can even scale up. So let's talk about what that really takes.
You know, I want to tell you a quick story about someone I know, because this makes it real. They started with just one property. The total investment to get it furnished, photographed, and listed was about $50,000. Now, 50 grand is not nothing, I get it. It's a real investment. But what happened in just 12 months? Well, it shows you the incredible power of this business model. In that first year alone, they made $100,000 in profit. They doubled their entire investment in 12 months. That's the kind of potential that's on the table here. It's wild.
So you're probably wondering how? Was it just luck? No way. There was a formula. First, they were completely obsessed with a guest experience, every detail. They priced competitively, but for value. They marketed aggressively and consistently. They took their profits and put them right back into upgrades for the property. And most importantly, they protected their 5-star reviews like gold, because honestly, in this business, they are. When you boil it all down, long-term success comes down to these 3 things. 40% is smart operations. Automating your check-ins, having cleaners you can trust, that's what gives you your time back. 30% is a smart pricing strategy to make sure you're earning the most you can. And the last 30% is just pure guest satisfaction. Quick communication, solving problems, that's what gets you the reviews that keep the whole engine running.
Okay, let's be super clear on one thing. This is not passive income. Not at the beginning anyway. It is a business and you have to treat it like one. But, and this is the beautiful part, it's a business you can systematize, you can automate it, and eventually you can get it to a point where it only takes a few hours of your week to manage while giving you some incredible freedom and financial rewards.
So that kind of leaves us with one big final question. When you think about it, when you consider how you can get started with very little money using methods like arbitrage or management, and you look at the insane cash flow potential compared to a normal rental, you just have to wonder, is this the fastest way for a regular person to get into the real estate game and start building real wealth right now?